Do you hate it as much as me? Are you kind of enjoying it a little bit perversely, like me as well? I think.
As of Dana White coming on and actually confronting it and saying, here's an offer, and I know the offer isn't 100 million, which is what Floyd would want, but with a pay-per-view percentage, depending on how high that pay-per-view percentage is, it could easily go over 100 million. So I'd say Floyd would be interested in seeing what percentage Dana has in mind. So it kind of has taken it to a out of fantasy land into like, this is possible, unlikely, but possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still a long way to go, and I wouldn't be booking flights or getting too excited or anything like that. Anyway,
look, for this fight to happen, I put it up on the internet at the weekend that or on Twitter, sorry, that look, Dana White made an offer to Conor McGregor and he made an offer to Floyd Mayweather. But for this fight to actually happen, I think it's Floyd Mayweather needs to make an offer to Dana White and Conor McGregor, because for the fight to happen, obviously it's going to be a boxing match. It's not going to be MMA. And Floyd Mayweather is obviously the king of boxing. He makes all the money out of his own fights. He promotes himself. His relationship with Showtime. He said a relationship with other people in the past, Oscar De La Hoya and all that. But if you don't know about Floyd Mayweather, right? As I said, he promotes himself. Like, he gets huge share of the pay-per-view. Like, takes it all himself, basically. He gives who he fights usually like a flat percentage. He gets a share of every tickets that's sold. If you buy a fucking bar of chocolate in the MGM when Floyd Mayweather's fighting, he's probably getting 15% of that or something, something like that. So that's what you're talking about here. In that interview as well, he said he made 40 million in sponsorship money, I think, or something like that, before his last fight. Like, that's what you're talking about here. So that's unrealistic, I think, for Dana White and the UFC to deal with. So if this fight's going to happen, and we're talking about realistically going to happen here, okay, Floyd Mayweather could decide to go whatever. If Floyd Mayweather could decide to go to the UFC and make it easy for himself, just get the money and do it like that. But if he wants to make the most money out of it, he's going to have to do it. It's going to have to be a Mayweather Promotions, maybe in conjunction with the UFC and McGregor Promotions, and he gets loads of money and he pays Conor McGregor his flat, maybe 25 million, and a share of the pay-per-view purse as well. And you could see McGregor getting 50, 60 million. That's how this fight's going to happen, right? And I don't think there's any other way that it's going to happen, on unless McGregor gets out of his contract or whatever. That's the real thing about it for me, right? Do you agree with that, or do you think that Mayweather could do it like this, or what's the UFC's offer realistic?
Well, when Floyd was asking for at least 100 and stuff, I think Dana's trying to negotiate publicly. I think what was telling was, if we can trust Dana White, he says that Floyd hasn't been in contact with the UFC or with him or anybody, so that they haven't really made offers, even though Floyd has claimed, "Oh, I've made this offer, made that offer." So it does seem like Floyd is just talking, and that it's a risky bout for him, because what's to stop Conor just kicking him in the head? If
I heard someone else saying
what's to stop him oblique kicking him? What's to stop him kneeing him in the head if he dips his head down? Like, nothing's to stop him.
He could get prosecuted.
Floyd was grappling and all that, fighting in his boxing bouts all the time.
Yeah, but it's different kicking someone in the head. Like, I doubt he'd do it. Like, McGregor's not going to do
it. If you eat a punch and you're kind of rocked, and somebody's coming in and you see the knee there, and you're a mixed martial artist, that could be your automatic response, is to throw that knee. Like, if I was Conor, I'd be putting it into Floyd's head that at any moment I might kick him in the head and lead up to the fight, and have him freaked out, and have him talking to the commission, being like, this guy, or have him freaking out. I do all that. I'd play all them mind games.
If we're going to actually get into the fight itself, I have two thoughts. I'm going to keep calling it a fight. You can just like it. It's about grand.
Well, it's not a fight.
Yeah, but I'm going to keep calling it a fight, so you can just get used to it. This is basically a WWE fight for me. It's the outcome is known beforehand. If it's boxing, Mayweather's obviously going to win. If it's MMA and it's not going to be, McGregor's obviously going to win. This is not a real fight. This is fake. This is a fake fight. They're going to go up. McGregor's going to try, but he's not going to win. This is no intrigue for me whatsoever. Like, if I had to pay 60 quid for this, I'd definitely buy it, because it'd be good crack. It's not a real fight. McGregor has no chance of winning if they box. and like I think it's important to say that as well, because I don't think people are saying it enough. Like, and I think people know. I think everyone knows, but you have to say it as well. You know, it's insane. But if you leave that aside and we go a bit insane, right? Patrick came up with a great plan for me. I think, like, he asked me the question, who do you think? And I'll ask it to you right now, and then I'll give you what he said, because I don't want to take credit. If Conor McGregor's fighting Floyd Mayweather, who would you send him to train? What boxing coach or former boxer or whatever would you send him to?
I don't really know that many. I'm not that big into boxing. I wouldn't know that many. Like, Freddie Roach got a bad record against Floyd, hasn't he? I suppose everybody does, because he's undefeated.
Well, you have to look kind of outside the box, because he's not going to beat him at boxing. You know, he's not going. If you put him straight up boxing against Floyd Mayweather, he's not going to win. We know that. But here's Patrick's idea. What boxer made boxing different? What boxer didn't fight the same as all the rest of them? You know, he didn't do the normal things. And that's Prince Nazim Hamed.
Roy Jones Jr.
Prince Nazim Hamed did that. That's where he goes.
Well, Conor kind of fights or boxes like Prince Nazim with the uppercut and the flashy.
He goes to Sheffield, he goes to Ingles' gym, and he boxes with them, and he talks a whole load of shit. He holds his hands down, tries to draw Mayweather in, and throws like shots from his hips and stuff like that. That's how I think he fights.
Yeah, I'd say they'd be up for it as well. They're big fans of Nazim. He doesn't make much public comments about stuff like this, but he talked about Conor and how this is even before Conor was the featherweight champion, about how his brother had told him, "Oh, you need to check out this guy," and he's like, "Oh, I'm not into MMA or whatever," but he checked him out and he was like, "This guy is for real."